It's Monday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's time for the late show with Late Smoke with Ray. And this is episode 17. How's everyone? Can see, yep, see myself. We're all live. Few people joining already. Very nice. I hope I'm looking good. Hey. Right, today will be a very, I hope, busy evening. I'm gonna have lots of stuff to talk about. It's one of the exciting topics. I'm usually can't wait for that kind of period of the year where Half will release their consensus, etc. So I literally spent the last hour, 2 hours just thinking about it, what's my thoughts and everything. But yeah, pretty much it will be. We're gonna talk lots about the top 25 in the consensus. But hey, hi Gav, how good to see you. As usual as everyone. So, what I'm gonna smoke? I'm gonna smoke something which I don't want to care much about. It's a cigar which will keep me smoking without me thinking lots of the cigar. I smoke quite a lot of them. This is those old Dutch Belgium cigars called Velasquez, named after the painter. I got a couple left in this box. I think the box is from 1960s, so quite old. This is how the cigar look like. Short Perfecto cone V-cut. Someone driving in blizzard. Well, thank you. I hope I can make you listen and entertain you when you're driving. So yeah, the cigar is called Velasquez. Lots of Indonesian tobacco. Pretty much most of it is Indonesian. Fairly short. It's I'm just measuring it just over 4.25, and the widest part I would say is about 50 ring gauge. The cone. Easier hand rolled? I think so, but I think it's a short filler. Yeah, they're usually nothing complicated, nothing too shabby. I smoke, it was a full box of 5. I'm down to the last 2. So I smoked pretty much a few of them in the last few years. So one of those cigars where you don't need a cutter, you just need to light it somehow. And there we go. You will create lots of smoke. Usually those are quite peppery, but yeah. So what's everyone smoking? Come on, drinking, smoking, anyone? I know the weather is pretty crap. AJ Fernandez Cameron, that's not bad. It's a decent cigar. So as usual, the topic tonight will be still continue the top 25s in different medias, different outlets. Today will be all about Half Wheel. Before that, as usual, I want to talk about a little bit on the news section because there's something quite interesting and funny. I've read about it and I literally laugh a lot about it. I found out that in US, one of the judges, which appointed for that, blocks the FDA graphic warning and label requirement for the cigarettes. I know it's not cigars, it's cigarettes, but there was a proposition in the US to start putting health warnings on the cigarettes, and usually cigarettes is the first point. Once they accept that, and once they approve that one, the next step is vapes and cigars and pipes and etc. So this time some judge just block it and say no, that's not gonna happen. So fair point for this guy. He's probably a cigarette smoker or cigar smoker, so he just don't want the ugly pictures, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. How a picture will stop someone to spend his money on a product? If he was working like that, oh gosh, there will be lots of people will turn different religions, lots of people will turn different parties, lots of people turn different genders even, or whatever, if it's happening just with the pictures. So I'm glad someone have a little bit of sense and decide to stop that one. But yeah, I'm not gonna bother that much. It was just fun news I wanna mention. And actually, there's a people with sense, not in our country, in US, but hopefully someone here will see something from that one. I doubt, but that's another point. Um, right, Dexter smoking Warp Cloud Hopper 485. Um, what was the 485? That was the short Robusto, the slim Robusto. That's an. I mean, Cloud Hopper. I remember when they released Cloud Hopper, probably 5, 6 years ago. Me and my good friend Andy, we smoked one of those live on Instagram. That's one of the first lives I did in Instagram many years ago. We were doing some show with Andy, and we smoked one of those live, me and him, and none of us was actually wow. There wasn't. We were a little bit of a fanboys of the Warped at the beginning. We smoked a bunch of Warped at that time, and Cloud Hopper was one of those which, like, it's a side project for Warped, so it's not technically Warped. It's Kyle Gellis' idea, not with the name Warped. So it's like, oh, let's see what's it about. But we wasn't overly impressed, to be honest. It was not a bad cigar, but it's just something missing from the wow factor. But we're gonna talk about Warped in some point later. I've got some stuff to say about it. So, there's a few. I'm gonna separate today's show a few different sections. There will be section about the consensus, and I'll explain you about the consensus towards the second part of the show. But before that, Half will releasing all their awards the whole week basically. So, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. So they start with the factory of the year. And for Half Wheel Factory of the Year, that's Nika Sueño. And Nika Sueño, that's the factory behind brands like Romacraft, Poštanje, pretty much Romacraft, Poštanje. What else is made in Nika Sueño? I mean, this is the Romacraft factory. Not lots of cigars are made there, small boutique production. As far as I know, they don't do more than 2 million cigars a year. I might be wrong. I have those numbers just on top of my head without being confirmed. Not lots of cigars, but usually Skip Martin, who's the guy behind Romacraft, he's a mastermind of making a really good cigars in affordable price. I mean, there's not many Romacrafts which cost 20, 30, 40. They have very few old releases, limited stuff, but majority of their stuff, even in Temperance line, it's less than $10. They release even bundle cigars, and they all super high quality without paying crazy money for the boxes, because their boxes are actually quite heavy. I don't know if you guys seen Romacraft box. They're thick wood. The box itself is probably a kilogram or even more, even if it's for like 12, 15 cigars, 10, 15 cigars. So usual box of 24s, they're big, but they do some fancy ones. For example, I have a box of Lanceros. It's like 10 cigars or 12. So it's a 2 rows, 5 or 6, I think 10. And the box is massive. So, yeah, I mean, Factory of the Year, I'm very happy when they choose something like that. Very small boutique. Roughly 60, 70 people work in the factory. Compared to some other people like AJ Fernandez, was like a few thousand. So you can see the scale. I think they have like 12 rollers and 12 bunches, so 12 pairs, which is, if you make the maths, it's not a big number. Yeah, Dexter said it very right. Romacraft, you can smoke pretty much almost everything for under $14. And even if you want to buy stuff like Black Irish, the Craft series, they're probably about $20. And this is like top of the top limited stuff from Romacraft. So they don't do crazy $100 cigars and whatever. Even not like they can't. I'm pretty sure they can put some fancy label. Even if their bands are so unique, they have double bands, all about the prehistorical people, Cro-Magnons and Homo sapiens and all kind of different levels like that. So if you haven't smoked Romacraft, they're available actually in UK. Not a lot of people know, but in UK is one of the best budget cigars you can buy. So there we go. Right. I'm gonna move on because there's a lots of stuff I want to talk about. The next award half we will give that's usually company of the year. So this year company of the year for half wheel that's Arturo Fuente. Um, I don't disagree. I don't agree. I don't disagree. I don't have a. I'm not sure how to look on that, but their arguments is all those stuff Fuente did, like the release of the Padron and Fuente cigar. They have a new Opus X. They release a new fancy humidor. They have a new line with the watches with Hublot. Um, they expand their charitable foundation. They open a new Arturo Fuente cigar club. I was talking about that a few weeks ago in the show. So all those stuff they mention as a part of why they choose them as a cigar company of the year. Um, I mean, they're one of the companies which can afford doing all those crazy stuff. I mean, don't forget Fuente is in top 5 probably in the most profitable cigar companies in the world, and probably the only family owned. So I'm gonna move on. It's I mean, I'll leave you if you want to comment. Just throw me a comment on that one. Again, for me, company of the year and factory of the year shouldn't be much of a different. Should be the same award, but maybe they want to give more awards, so make more noise for other people. The next one is quite interesting because I like watching this award since they have it, and this is packaging of the year because not a lot of reviewers, bloggers, magazines, all kind of media people, they actually pay attention on the packaging. And I have a big discussion with my colleagues from the Cigar Journal where we discussing doing reviews, and sometimes we meet in person. Shall we include the packaging in some point in those reviews and stuff? Because some companies pay lots of money for packaging, others don't. Of course, we don't smoke the packaging, but overall experience on the cigar probably will change opinion. You know, if you have a cigar, unbanded cigar, and then if you have some nice, fancy, flashy band and box and everything, for lots of people, they will probably choose the packaging. Maybe the regular consumer, not for the reviewer. I mean, if we professional review cigars, maybe we don't look at the band. We do a blind taste most of the time, etc. But if you are in the shop, if some customer come to buy in the shop, he actually first buy what he see. When he see that fancy packaging, fancy shiny lacquered box, he want to know more about it. He don't want to know about the cigars on the bottom row with no bands or maybe in a bundle, even if they might be the best cigar in the world, just in a bundle. They don't want to know about it. So that's why there's a big discussion. Shall we including packaging in those top 25s, or shall we exclude it? Maybe as a additional level of reviewing and scoring. Maybe no. I mean, let me know what you're thinking. It's I know it's only a few of us tonight, but it will be interesting to see what's your point of view on that one. Again, it's I know we don't smoke the packaging, but if it's like that, why we even bother putting packaging? I mean, when I talk about the packaging, I give sometimes the example with why people buy Lamborghini and Ferrari and those kind of luxurious sport cars. You can buy a pretty much sportish car which is not that luxurious for a quarter of the money, but because of the packaging on that sport car says Lamborghini, or even if everything from in Lamborghini is probably Audi, still Lamborghini costs twice as more, and people fancy it. You know, it's maybe a prestige, maybe interesting to have it in your pocket, in your garage, and say, "Oh, I'm having Lamborghini." Nobody says, "Oh, I'm having Audi." You know, it's Audi is pretty much common and standard, unless you have some, fancy old Quattro from the Rally series or something. You don't just say, "No, I've got that one." So, I mean, same with the cigars. Sometimes people showing off with the packaging, and it's good to be included, I believe. And this year, the winner of the packaging, I forgot to mention that. That is Fuente Opus 25. Even if I don't think the cigar been released yet, they show the packaging, which is a nice green box, lacquered box. Some Fuente boxes, especially the Opus boxes, the fancy Opus boxes, they are really nice. So this is not worst. Some other cigars in the packaging department, which obviously become after that, I can mention some of them. Davidoff, Year of the Snake, Padron and Fuente collaboration. There's Espinosa, Las Six Provincias, Espinosa Warhead, La Union, that's the My Father en Tatuaje, Alma del Fuego, Ometepe Plasencia. There's a Punch That box, which was a very fun. Another Opus the Society box, and Stereo Boy Band Volume 1. That's the cigar from Darren Trophy and Principe, what I talked about a few weeks ago with Andre, how there's a old cassette look and everything. So those are the top 10 basically. I think Fuente look more luxurious than the others, but I would probably pick some of the others as a more funky packaging. But again, it's just me. But I guess at the end of the day, we pay extra for the money, for the packaging, I guess. There we go. Rubio says 2050 is released. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen officially anyone showing off the cigar, so I've seen only stock pictures. So my mistake then. I apologize on that. But yeah. When we see that kind of packagings, we all know that like $5 in the cigar, maybe $10 in the cigar, just the packaging. But hey, you can't blame those people. You know, you don't blame the guys who made it. You blame the people who buy it. Yeah, moving on to the next award, and that was the Reader's Choice Award for the half wheel. So there was a vote. There's a vote for, I think, a week or maybe more. All the people can vote for one of those 5 cigars. They were the most mentioned. So last year, Mi Querida Black won on that one with just over 30%. This year as well with over 30%. That was Perdomo 30th Maduro, which is a little bit surprised for me because Umbagok Bronzeback was there, Diamond Crown. They all have quite a lot of followers. Also, La Bomba Warhead. I would say personally, I vote for La Bomba Warhead because I'm a massive fan of those guys. I love the Warhead line, and not like I don't like the Umbagok or the Perdomo, but from those options, if I need to choose and buy a cigar, I would buy the La Bomba. But unfortunately, yeah. So unfortunately, Perdomo won. Unfortunately for me, of course, there was a Perdomo have the whole army behind it. You know, they call all the followers of Perdomo's army. So I mean, well done. I would probably choose the Sun Grown on Perdomo, but that's another topic. Right. Also, Half Wheel released their personal top 25, and that was quite exciting because some of the cigars was like, okay, I didn't expect that one. Others was completely, I mean, they include stuff like Viaje, Adventura. So I'm not gonna go through the whole 25 cigars because we're gonna do after that with the consensus. But some of the surprises entries, Buenaventura, which is not some fancy cigar, a very basic band, but usually they smoke okay. They have, of course, Warhead, La Bomba Warhead. This cigar was being in probably every ranking I've seen, and I talk about it was somewhere. So half will have it on number 19, but another, I mean, this is probably one of the most mentioned cigars in all the rankings. They have AJ Fernandez, Crooks, Roma Craft, of course. They have Davidoff, Winston Churchill, Late Hour, Petit Panateo. That's the very small new release of Davidoff. I mean, new. There was a first limited edition, then they stopped it, and last year, they released it as a standard production. It's a cigar where I spoke with few people even close to the Davidoff people, and they found it very pointless. I have even the direct question to one of them. I say, from the line of all the lines of Davidoff, which cigar you think shouldn't be in their portfolio? And those people I talk about, they were mentioning this Petit Panatella, which doesn't make any sense for them. But hey, It's not a bad cigar. I actually smoked quite a few of them last year. What else is in here? Plasencia 151. This is cigar has all been in a lot of rankings. It was in my ranking as well. And I think this will be in top 3 in Cigar Journal. Again, I don't have an idea yet of the Cigar Journal, but I think will be pretty high ranked in the Cigar Journal. I'll be surprised if it's not. Davidoff Diademas, Grand Cru of Diademas Finas. That was in a quite few rankings as well. Maestranza, Citadella Catalonia, that's the Roma Craft. Fuente and Padron collaboration, that's the Fuente cigar. And Avo Expressions limited edition, I smoked literally a week ago one of those. They're not bad cigars. Plasencia, Alma Fuerte, Colorado. And the top three Sin Compromiso Selección number 4. Few bloggers mentioned this cigar. I think it's a pretty good cigar. No surprise that Barton is here. Quesada 50th anniversary Toro. That was one of the surprises because there was someone already mentioned that cigar, but I don't think was that high in some of the other people. So it's here, and the cigar of the year, complete surprise for me. I would not expect that one. So that was a Roma Craft Market La Maestranza. They call it a Spanish Market Selection Gordo. Weird size, 4.5, 56 box press. But completely out of nowhere, I have not smoked this cigar, unfortunately. I would love to be able to get some of those and try them, but I haven't. So yeah, someone says he haven't smoked Perdomo in years. Well, I smoke, of course, I sell Perdomo, so I smoke from time to time some of them. But I found the 10, 20, 30th anniversaries, they're just a little bit better than the previous one. It's not significantly way better or anything, it's just a little bit. So, I don't know. But yeah, you don't need to, that's just me. So, where we are. It's time for the consensus. So, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, I want to separate the show a little bit on two halves. That was all the awards from Half Wheel. So now, what's that thing about the consensus? Maybe some of the people know. If you already know, apologize. I'll explain again for the people who doesn't know what's the consensus. So Half Wheel started something about 10, 12 years ago, where they collect all the data from different professional reviewers, what they call it. So people who post reviews for the cigars, they have like top 10, top 5, top 25, etc., etc. And those people, they need to publish them either on paper, some different magazines. They need to publish them on internet, but they do not count people who publish in Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and Twitter. So those social media, they don't count those people there. So people like myself, I'm not included there. Which is fair. I mean, that because everyone can start posting stuff in Instagram and whatever. It's fair to be people who actually have a website set up, writing media, paper media and stuff like that. So I understand it and completely accept it. So this year they collect 50 of those people, different medias, again, different portals. There are a few big ones which are not included. So Cigar Journal is not included because they hasn't list their list yet. Also, there's all the people who own shops or own cigar business and they publish or they're blogging, whatever, they're not included as well. So people like Two Cigar Guys, Dave Garofalo, unfortunately he's not included. He also do top 25, etc. But yeah, he's not included. So what they do, Half will collect all those different people's rankings, and they score them. Number one have 25 points, number two have 24, and so on until you go to number 25, which get 1 point. So they collect all those points in the spreadsheet, all those numbers, and at the end they start releasing the cigars with most points. So you can see some very bizarre numbers, cigars in that ranking. You can see some weird, I mean, completely random cigars which are maybe new, maybe old, but that's because lots of some people, they basically put the same cigars in the top 25 all the time, or top 5 or top 10. So yeah, I'm always super curious on that one. I have a very fun when I watch it. They usually do it live. I spend a good hour and a half watch that one, and yeah, they usually the winner have only about 2 or 3% of the overall scores, but 2-3% of something like I need to check what was the number, something like 4,000 points. I mean, it's pretty good, to be honest. So um, yeah, I mean 2024. So the winner have 253 points out of 12,000. So 2% of the overall points. That's what make a winner. And in that case, imagine uh, if I put a cigar on, or any professional blogger put cigar on number one and get 25, that would automatically probably enter it in some form, like in the top 25 in the overall, because 25 points are a lot. Oops, I make a massive mess with me now. Ashes all over, and yeah, I'm not burning. That's good. We're gonna clean later. Usually I don't drop my ash over me, but this time it happened. Those cigars did not keep ash, and I forgot about it. Right. Let's start. I'll try not to spend so much time on some of the cigars. I'm gonna mention them. So number 25, Padron Black Maduro, limited release cigar, really good cigar. I talked about this cigar a few days ago. Someone asked me, some of my friends, have you smoked it? I smoked it last year for the first time. I was overly impressed, to be honest. I expect to be a little bit gimmick, but actually it was a very good cigar. So one position up, that was Joya de Nicaragua, Cinco de Cinco. Standard production cigar released 2 years ago. Quite a few people put it in the top 25. Well deserved. It's a really nice cigar. Probably one of the very good cigars Joya came up in recently. Tabernacle 23. I don't think you need to introduce this cigar. It's been standard production for how many years now? Probably 8-9 years. This cigar, I can actually start telling as well which of the cigars are available in Europe and UK. So maybe the people who watch from Europe and UK can try to buy them and see what they're thinking. The Padron is not available in UK. In Europe, Joya de Nicaragua, it's available pretty much everywhere in Europe. Cinco de Cinco even in UK. The Tabernacle, available in UK, available in lots of countries in Europe. It's actually quite good price in UK, about £30 at the moment. Number 22, that's a very, very new cigar. That's a Black Work Studio Intergalactic Event Horizon. Was the new release of the Intergalactic, which is significantly better than the old one. They released it on the Dortmund show in Intertabac. I'm not sure who have it. Maybe Germany have it. It's a quite limited release. I think about 50,000 cigars. So whoever have it, it won't be for long. If you want to scoop around and grab one of those very rustic, crazy looking Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper. Number 21, Aganorsa leaf, Arsenio. Really mild, creamy type cigar. I've discussed that cigar with someone, maybe I think on the show recently. Regular production, one of the really nice packaging looking cigar, Aganorsa. I don't remember anyone included in his top 25, so that's a little bit surprise. A little bit surprised to see this one here. Next one, El Septimo Culinary Arts Collection. I mean, it's one of the new fancy art selection of El Septimo. I have not smoked this cigar. I don't want to smoke this cigar. I think there will be better cigars to be smoked, even if I haven't smoked it. I usually don't say that, but it's my opinion on this brand. I don't know how many people put this cigar so high, so you're gonna get that much higher rating. More than Intergalactic and Aganorsa and Padron and Tabernacle, but I don't know, maybe the LSEC team will sponsor lots of people. So I don't know. But yeah, no more talking about this one. Number 19, one of the most iconic cigars in the industry, La Flor Dominicana Andalusian Bull. I don't think I need to tell anything about this cigar. Being in number one in Cigar Aficionado, it's one of the most recognizable shapes, bands, everything. They've been before in the consensus as well. It's a cigar which, if you ask me, probably will never should be out of the consensus. Um, I don't know lots of people who, I don't know almost anyone who smoked the cigar and didn't like it. The only issue I have with this cigar is an extremely long smoke. So not very often I have 3.5 4 hours for one cigar. That's my only issue. It's an amazing cigar. Strength is what I like. Taste is what I like. Construction is usually on point, but it's 3.5 hours. That's the, if you can call it problem, that's my problem. Number 18, super surprise for me. That's Principe Martinique. That's Darren Trophy cigar. I've been honored to know Darren personally. He gave me a couple of those when I saw him in Austria a couple of years ago, before he released them. I smoked the Lancero, I smoked the Corona. I think it's really tasty cigar, quite mild. It's a Connecticut cigar made by Kellner Boutique Factory. That's Henke's son, who have his own factory in Dominican Republic. It's been released a few years ago, as I mentioned. Regular production, I think you can find him in most of the boutique shops. I don't think it's available in Europe, maybe in Germany, but I will lie if I confirm that one, so I'm not entirely sure. If you can buy them, buy them. It's a really good cigar. Number 17, another surprise. That's Dumbarton Dundurma. Dundurma, I still think is probably my favorite Dumbarton. It's one of those limited stuff which once a year release, and if you can get hold of some, just get as many as you can buy. It's a very sweet, weird sweetness in this cigar. When somebody asks Saka, where did he get that weird sweetness? He said he using some weird tobacco from Wisconsin, which I don't think anyone ever used anywhere. But the cigar is beautiful. It's a nice pigtail, of course, made by Juez de Nicaragua. Beautiful cigar. Unfortunately, it's quite limited. I am pretty sure it's not available in anywhere in Europe. Dundurma was impossible to find. I mean, Dexter, if you're after some Dundurmas, shoot me a message in Instagram, and I will contact you with a few people in US. I'm pretty sure they can sort you out. It will be easier. If you're in US, it will be no problem. I mean, it will be harder to get it out of the US. Moving on, number 16, that's Poštanje, Connecticut. Great cigar. Poštanje, Mike, and what was his brother? Forgot his brother. The Polish people. They have a Cigar Hustler, I think, podcast as well. Cigar is made by Roma Craft. All the Poštanje, as I mentioned, made by Roma Craft. Nika Swenjo, the factory of the year for Half Wheel. And their Connecticuts are really nice because they blend Connecticut with usually strong binder. This case is Pennsylvanian broadleaf. So it's really nice cigar. I'm a big fan of the cigar. I like Roma Craft's Connecticuts. Intemperance BA, Intemperance EC, and this Poštanje is pretty much similar style cigar. Regular production, unfortunately, only in the US. Poštanje does not do anything in Europe. Even if they have Polish origin, the cigars are named after Polish culture. Unfortunately, no. Next one, number 15, Las Calaveras Edición Limitada 2024. That's a Crown Heads. As every year, Crown Heads releasing different blends. Las Calaveras. This year, the cigar was made by my father. As I think this is second time since they start Las Calaveras made in my father. Unfortunately, limited release. I doubt you can find this cigar out of the US. personally, I haven't smoked it yet. I smoked most of the previous one, but not this one. Number 14, that's Warped La Colmena. And this is one of the interesting warps. So, La Colmena, I smoked few of those. I've somehow I don't prefer those ones than some of the other warps. That one is made by El Titan de Bronze, so it's not one of the, if you remember, worked most of the time at the beginning, start working with Aganorsa. Then there was some issues, I think, with Aganorsa. He moved some of the production to Dominican Republic. I'm not sure which factory in Dominican Republic. I think it's a very small factory. And also there's a few lines made in El Titan de Bronze in US, Vega Hodula Palina. This one is one of them. La Colmena is made in the US. That's why it's a tad more expensive than the others. Maybe that's why I didn't prefer to buy this one, because you pay slightly more. I don't feel it way better than some of the others. But this is a regular production. If you guys can find it in the US, go for it. Number 13, Atabey Black Ritus. So this is one of the first Atabey with the darker wrapper, I think, the Maduro version. I personally haven't smoked an Atabey yet. I mean, that might sound weird, but yes, I just don't want to pay the money for Atabey. Everyone says it's phenomenal cigar, it's outstanding. I just somehow it's not in my style of buying cigars, so I don't pay that kind of money for cigars. And this one is a limited release, so I'm not sure if you can find them, if they're still available. I just don't chase the Byrons. I smoke Byrons, I haven't smoked Atabeys. And the Byrons was okay. Is he exceptional as everyone says? For me, no. But my palate may be different. Number 12, La Bomba Warhead 10. I mean, I was sure this cigar will be in the consensus because, like I mentioned, I've seen every single blogger, magazine, anything, everyone mentioned this cigar. So that cigar collecting points. AJ Fernandez made this cigar for the guys from Espinosa. It was the last year limited release, 50,000 cigars. I'm pretty certain you might be able to find some of that somewhere in the US, but maybe no. It's been released almost a year ago. If you have contacts, maybe. If not, I doubt. The cigar is not available in Europe or out of the US. Number 11, that's Fuente, Don Carlos. I mean, another iconic cigar. Don't need to introduce, don't need to say anything about it. The cigar is available almost everywhere where people selling cigars. Even in UK, we have like 6 lines of Don Carlos, from Eye of the Shark to number 4, Robusto, all kind of fancy. The cigar was released in 1970s. I don't think any other cigar in this rankings are that old and still continue. So one of the oldest still produced cigars has been Cameroonian tobacco, one of the stoics on the Cameroon tobacco wrapper. So again, no need to introduce. If you want to try them. They're beautiful cigars. Eye of the Shark, I have them in my shop. I always have them in my shop. So Rubio says difficult to find Eye of the Shark in EU. Since they opened the shop, I manage never have a day without Eye of the Shark. So I still have Eye of the Shark. Of course, the price in UK is not the same as the US. Eye of the Shark with me is around 37-40 pounds, but it's no problem. Someone says, Dexter says, people love the Atabey in Byrons, sleep on the Bandoleros. I've heard good stuff about Bandoleros. I'm not one of those followers on the brand, to be honest. Everyone have his preference on the brand. Very rarely try something, and especially if you need to pay an extra buck for that one. That's me. I've tried Byron. I tried 2 Byrons. I haven't tried Bandoleros. I haven't tried Atabey. Bandolero, maybe one day if I go to the States, I might get it from a shop or something. I just don't fancy it. Start ordering from the US because it's quite risky. Then moving on, number 10. Dumbarton, Sobremesa, Brûlé, Blue, Wagashi. This is a Cigar Dojo ranked cigar, so I reckon Cigar Dojo probably put it quite high in their rankings. We talked about Cigar Dojo already a couple of weeks ago, or last week, couple of weeks, something like that. Limited release for the Dojo, no idea how many numbers. I've seen the cigar even lots of people in different countries smoke it. They buy it from the US, but Cigar Dojo is quite a big society. Cigar is not available out of the US if you want to buy it. Another cigar made by Hoya in Nicaragua. Number 9, Byron 21st Century. We literally just talk about Byron and Atabey, cigar made with Rose people. This is one of their first core lines back in the time, 2015-16. I have not smoked exactly this one, but looks like lots of people put it in their ranks. Number 8, Opus Fuente. Another cigar for Fuente. I don't think I need to introduce again. Iconic cigar. I'm pretty sure Opus is always will be in the consensus. Should be in the consensus because there's usually in some rank somewhere Opus is mentioned. This one here only number 8, so I reckon, I don't know, maybe I expect to be higher. It's not. Again, it's a cigar being number 1 in aficionado, released 1995. It's been already 30 years on the market. So yep, pretty iconic one. Number 7, Roma Craft Maestranza. Mentioned this cigar a few times in different rankings. This is one of the newest releases of Roma Craft, released only a few months ago, and already getting lots of accolades, lots of awards and everything. I have not smoked it yet. I hope I can find it. I'm pretty sure it's available in Europe in some countries. So I think Italy, Austria, possibly Germany. Number 6, Plasencia Cosecha 151. I mean, every ranking, this cigar is there. I literally talk already about it today. It's available in UK, it's available in Europe, it's available in pretty much every country. Spain. Beautiful cigar. Number 5, Black Label Orthodox. The best cigar for me. I'm very happy to see it here. I'm very happy to see that people actually like this cigar. It's not only me. Again, my vote is not here, so they didn't take my vote into consideration. So I haven't changed the vote in my favor. Limited release. So if you guys can find this cigar, if you can buy it. Trust me, even if you don't like it, let me know. I'll get them out of your hands. Number 4, Sin Compromiso. Probably the most recognizable Saka cigar. Band, the packaging, the box, everything is so unique. This cigar been, since I follow the consensus, every year is in the consensus. 4 or 5 years in the consensus. People like this cigar. People like it. It's a good cigar. Not crazy strong because it's look. Nice packaging, fairly decent price, especially in Europe and UK. The cigar is available in UK. I'm pretty sure it's available in most of the countries in UK. In the States, it's probably on the chunky side, but because it's not a heavy cigar, over here it's not that expensive. Now we move into top 3. Third place is a Davidoff Grand Cru Diadema Finas limited edition. This is the limited release from Davidoff last year. Already been in all the rankings as well. I have not smoked it myself because it's 70 odd pounds in UK. But now I'm thinking, shall I risk and invest some money and buy this cigar? Because being in every ranking, everywhere, I mean, that means the cigar is actually good. If we trust all those rankings, that might be a good cigar then. No, I don't say it's not, but usually Grand Cru for me is not the best line of Davidoff. I found him very mild and a little bit bitter. But hey, maybe this size changed everything. Who knows? But we'll see. I'm still on the dilemma. Shall I buy it or shall I wait? Yeah, same as Dexter. I found him way too mild. I prefer the Anniversario or something like that. But the Grand Cru, I found it mild usually. But we'll see. Number 2, it's a very interesting cigar. This is Warped Isla del Cocodrilo. Lots of people start talking about this cigar in the last few weeks. I've seen it in all kind of groups and all kind of social media. This is the warp which is made in DR. As I mentioned already, with warp they start moving some of the production to DR. It's a factory called Tabacalera La Isla, or La Isla. I don't know how in Spanish you would pronounce that. Uh, so the cigar I have not smoked it yet, but most likely I will smoke it soon. Why I'm saying this? The cigar will be very soon available in UK. That means the cigar is probably available in Europe in some other countries, but it will be in UK. I saw the price list already. Still, we don't have it from the importers, but probably let's give it a month or so. The cigar will be available to buy in UK. So if someone wants to watch me in UK and wants to buy it, not a problem. And number one, best cigar on the consensus, Umbergok Bronzeback. Dumbarton Umbergok Bronzeback. Standard production from Dumbarton, Connecticut broadleaf cigar, made by Ajoya, Nicaragua, I believe. Yeah. No surprise that much for me in number one. I wasn't sure. I was sure that would be Dumbarton. I just wasn't sure which Dumbarton will be. I expect maybe to be Sin Compromiso. Sin Compromiso came fourth. Last year, Papa Saka was here. There was a bunch of other stuff. No, last year was the one in the coffin. What was it? The Muestra de Saka, I think. Yeah, in overall, there were 591 cigars, which were included in this list. So imagine they can do top 591. If you're interested to see the list, I would suggest you go to the Half-Wheel page, and you can see the whole spreadsheet. You can download the whole spreadsheet with all the points and everything, and you can see there's so many cigars. I've just opened the list, and yeah, some of the cigars are crazy. I want to see one thing. When is the first Cuban edition? Cuban cigar, because if you realize there's no Cuban cigar in the top 25. Okay, the first Cuban line is Romeo and Julieta, first Cuban cigar, and this is 8 positions, so that's 33. So that's on 33rd place is the first Cuban cigar, and that's Romeo and Julieta. And there's no other Cuban until Quai d'Orsay came up in some point, but yeah. So they also did a quite interesting on the scoring system. They mentioned which cigar was number one in some of the rankings. And in some of the rankings, they have Maestranza on 2 different rankings, and Umbergok in 2 different rankings being number one as well. So that's what brings in lots of points. There's a massive difference between the first and the second place in points. First place is 253, second one is 165, so you can see. So, I mean, this is more of a technical. I don't know if you guys care about statistics. I usually love statistics, so I don't mind talking about statistics. But yeah, this was the Half-Wheel consensus. Some surprises there, not much of a surprise as a number one, etc. Looks like Half-Wheel collecting of that. I think Saka been in like top. He won 3 or 4 times in the last 5 years. It's strange for me how lots of outlets, lots of media put Saka as a number 1, 2, or 3, or even somewhere there, and Half-Wheel still does not decide. Not Half-Wheel, Cigar Aficionado still hasn't decided to include him in some of his rankings, which is a shame. The guy deserves enough respect from lots of people, and I don't understand the Cigar Aficionado guys. He don't advertise there, so what? If you don't advertise, he doesn't make good cigars. It doesn't make much sense for me, but who am I? So what's next? I hope Cigar Saka Scotch. Yeah, I mean, camping cigars. This guy. There we go. You see? There we go. Yeah, I mean, Rubio says Saka don't want his work there. Yeah, this is. I mean, what? Cigar Media would not include him there. So what? He's gonna sue them if they include him in the journal, if the in the magazine, if they say this was cigar number 12, number 4, or whatever. Not gonna happen. So yeah, I mean, company cigar have the Saka Squatch. This one, I have another one. So yeah, I like Saka stuff. Um, I got 2 squatches here next to me. They keep my books. Yeah. So what's next? What we're doing again? As I mentioned, I hope Cigar Journal will reveal the top 25. I don't think we're gonna happen next Monday. I hope so, but I think the schedule is week after. So next week, if I have some info for, let me see if I can get some info from Cigar Journal and see if they're gonna reveal, because I want to conclude those top 25s with Cigar Journal, and not talking about top 25s until next December. But in the meantime, most of the media's already revealed everything. They already released everything. I don't want to just repeat the same stuff. So next week we'll see. We might talk some other stuff. There will be few interesting releases. We'll see. We'll be same time, same place as usual. 27th of January next week. Yeah, I'm pretty much here. So if you guys want to talk about something, you want to mention something, now is the moment. It's pretty quick today. We didn't even did an hour, but yeah, it was an interesting. For me, I was so excited before I started because I was watching the consensus, and I want to talk with you about the consensus. I want to see what do you think. So yeah, let me know how do you like the consensus? How do you like the idea with the consensus? Shall it be more talk about? Shall we? Uh, do you think there should be um, there should be more voice about the consensus? So I don't know. Let me know. Right. So most likely, I don't think lots of people have anything to ask, anything to talk. It's been a little bit quiet in the chat tonight. I hope you enjoy the conversation. I know some people were driving, some people probably do some work. All the others. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I told you, we already start doing lives with Usman every Sunday in Instagram. Last night was such a fun evening. We have lots of fun. Obviously, I'm dunking on Cubans, he dunk on non-Cubans. I mean, this is always will be the idea there. This always will be the old school rants. We promise to do. We announce we're gonna do live tomorrow. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. It will be next week because we both of us are not available tomorrow. He's down in London. I'm up in Manchester, doing our stuff. Okay, there's some comments. More data points, the better. The consensus was interesting to hear. Okay, good. Someone says this year's selection was I don't want to say paid, but you have tried artisan. Yes, I've tried artisan tobacco del Pulpo. I think it's phenomenal cigar. I talk about the cigar. I smoked 3 of those cigars on Inter Tobacco, one after another, literally in all the days there. I think it's outstanding cigar, but how many people will think you put that cigar in their rankings? So that's my issue sometimes. When you see a boutique brand, a very boutique brand, they usually don't make it to that kind of consensus because the consensus is collective of all the 50 media they ranking. So El Pulpo, maybe someone will put it in number 12. You get like 10 points, and that's it. You see, the winner have their 590 watt cigars included in that. So to be able to get the consensus award, like what's the most popular cigars from the different medias, you need more media to talk about the cigar. And El Pulpo deserve the credit, deserve to be talked about. It's a beautiful cigar. I introduced it to a bunch of people, even in Dortmund, and I said, you need to smoke this cigar. They smoke it. They agree with that one. Um, Not sure how cheap is it. This cigar is not available in UK. I hope someone will bring it, but I'm not sure who can bring it because AJ Fernandez stuff are usually not super popular over here. We have some, but um, yeah, but in the States is how much? Probably 12, 13, 14 dollars. Okay. I don't think there's a much more comments. Um, so yeah, guys, it's been Instagram is shit. How come, Rubio? Yeah, I mean, Instagram is shit, but Instagram is easy to do it without much of a setup. It's easy to approach it with your phone and everything. That's why we do it the fun one in Instagram. The more official one will be in YouTube, in his channel, and I'm gonna upload it in my after that. But yeah, we want to do a proper recording, and the setup of proper recording will take only half an hour just to set up the cameras and lights and check the mics and everything. So we can't both of us work in other stuff, and this is only fun part for us. So it's not possible for us to do fun one in Instagram, a proper one in Instagram all the time because it's not. I mean, we're not professionals in that way. We're just amateurs and doing bunch stuff. But yeah, it's good to see you all, guys. It's good to have fun, good to have chat. I'm not sure what I'm gonna choosing for next week. Bear with me. I'm gonna think of something. If the journal didn't came up with the top 25, of course we're gonna start talking. There's a more and more news coming out of the industry. There's a all kind of crazy legislations now. In the beginning of the year, every country start throwing up. Oh, we want to ban this one. We want to ban this one. We want to ban that one. Very few actually want to say, oh, we actually want to remove the ban from this one. So I don't believe that will happen anyway. Um, what I'm gonna say. What I'm gonna say. I wish you a wonderful evening. I will see you next week. Smoke your cigars. Tomorrow's never given. I'm never gonna stop repeating that. My cigar was really okay for a talk. Nothing crazy, nothing too complicated. Next week I'm gonna choose probably something more relaxing. I'm gonna sit down. I'm not gonna talk that much stuff. I'm gonna try to be more interactive with you guys, not just throw you lots of info out there and maybe half the people fall asleep. But yeah, I'll see you next week. Stay smoky, and yeah, life is good.